he's going to play what he wants to play. But no, if we can get a reasonable deal for Lonzo, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, I was looking. They were talking about Andrew was talking about LeVar. LeVar's already out here wilding.
Wow, what he did?
This dude LeVar was talking about his sons are not role players. His sons are starters. And I guess that was more so a line about LaMelo. So imagine what LeVar would do if Lonzo was in New York. Oh man. Oh, the amount of media he'd bring and negative attention. That's a Andrew, that's a good point. Because LeVar is out here wilding a lot of times. So I would be hesitant strictly off the fact that he's out here bugging. But, I think talent-wise and what we have as a team, I think Lonzo could be beneficial. But it would have to be the right deal at the right price.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything more than a second round pick, it should be quiet for. Let me see. And then Sampson, he was like, Lonzo shooting more than Peyton and is playing a combo guard alongside Bledsoe, so his shooting numbers are whack, but he's not playing his own position. I mean, true, because Lonzo isn't a two guard, and he came out of college strictly as a point guard. He's known for being able to see the court and actually get people in the right position and actually assist. So a true point guard, Sampson said.
Yeah, but if we move Lonzo from off ball or on ball, I don't know if that necessarily alleviates all his shooting woes. Because that last season when he shot 38%, that was an anomaly. If you compare it to the other seasons he's been in the league, so is he legitimately a 38% 3-point shooter? I'm not sure.
No, I doubt it.
I doubt it. But if we bring him in as the Knicks point guard, are we going to see an automatic increase in those shooting percentages? I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe not for him, but maybe we'll see other players getting more touches. Like maybe you'll start to see Kevin Knox taking more shots a game. You'll see Mitch, who's already his percentages are usually 75 to 100. He does what he needs to. So just imagine having a point guard like Lonzo who genuinely knows how to throw lobs, how to get big men involved. You're going to see Mitch's improvement. You're just going to see a lot more ball movement and a lot more touches, unlike Peyton, who has tunnel vision for one player, who doesn't really, he doesn't create offense the way Lonzo would, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, Sampson is saying Lonzo was an upgrade from Peyton, and I would say that's a Snapple fact. He definitely is an upgrade from Peyton. It's just... Well, it's not just anything. I would prefer Lonzo over Peyton. It's just, I keep saying it's just. I'm on repeat. It's just the assets we'd have to give up for Lonzo. I just can't see myself doing it. Because I would personally want to give up just DSJ, Frank Nitty, and a second, but I don't see the Pelicans accepting that. Now, me being King Swindler, I would prefer that to be the package, but you think the Pelicans are going to say yes to that? DSJ, Frank Nitty in a second?
I mean, it's probably not. Probably, but only because I'm sure there's going to be that one team that's like, oh, no, we'll give you 2 first-round picks for him. There's always that one team that wants to be extra. It'll probably be Brooklyn. Oh, we still need more help. You know what? We will give you every pick that we get in the year 2027.
They don't have any more picks. Their farm system is barren.
And you would think that they would have learned with the Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Jason Terry deal that they made before, where they gave up their whole future for a win now. But no, they back in the situation.
The situation a little bit different, seeing that Harden, KD, and Kyrie and them are still in their prime. And I mean, this time they gave up everything for one player because they already had the other two. They gave up everything for the one.
They didn't, I don't know. They wild. Let me see.
More power to them.
But both UBG and Raphael don't think Lonzo would be a good fit. They both believe that we need a point guard who could shoot the 3. Let's move for Devontae Graham. My only thing
I like Devontae Graham.
Huh?
I like Devontae Graham, but he has his faults as well. He has his deficiencies. I don't see him more so as a legit playmaker. I mean, he has the ability to be a playmaker, but I like him more so in what we may end up doing with IQ, playing him more so off ball and allowing him to attack.
Yeah, see, that's the thing though. I feel like we already have Quickly, who's basically a point guard who could hit the three. So having Lonzo and Quickly on the court together, like you just open everything up because wherever Quickly's at, the defense has to focus on, and then Lonzo could still get everyone else involved. So Quickly doesn't have to be the main focus. Like he doesn't have to have the ball with him, causing guards to double him and triple him. I think that they would actually be able to play together.
Yeah, I would like that too. The way you would set that lineup up with, I would say you'd have IQ, Lonzo, and also RJ, even though some people say RJ can't really play the three. I think if you look at it statistically, I think RJ's played somewhere between like 25-30% of his minutes at the three. So he can definitely play the three in some lineups, some rotations. So if you have that lineup right there, I think it would be perfect.
Absolutely. And Samson is saying Lonzo does fit into our system because we're a defensive team, which is Lonzo's strong suit. Lonzo and Quickly are going to make us move so fast, which is what we need. Definitely up the tempo. And Samson also pointed out something that I've noticed watching these last three games. We're a defensive team, but for some reason we have no transition offense, which we don't.
I think we had the last. I forgot what game it was. We had like 12 or 16 points in transition.
The only time. We're the number one defense in the league. Like,
yeah, we're terrible. We're terrible in those situations, which is ironic because I think IQ, Obi, Knox, and them boys, I think they flourish in those situations. So it's weird to see that we're not really getting a lot. But if we were to bring in Lonzo, you would definitely see an uptick. Definitely see an uptick.
Yeah. And just imagine, I didn't even think about that, but Lonzo playing with Obi. Like, yeah, he'll get Obi into a lot of great positions. Because that one.
Did you see that? Which one? The alley-oop between IQ and Obi?
Nah, the bounce pass that led to Obi dunking on. It was the Golden State game.
Yeah, the pick and roll.
Yeah, he dunked on Draymond, right?
Nah, Draymond was out that game by that time. He didn't really dunk on anybody, but he had a flurry.
He dunked on. The guy, he tried to move out the way, but that dude got dunked on. But that small clip reminded me of Amari. I'm like, yo, that was a start of my dunk. That was just a.
Yeah, Obi's. We can talk about Obi. Obi's has his moments. I think I got Obi's stats too. Obi, his numbers have kind of dipped as well over the last two. I think against the Celtics, he went 5 for 8, 2 of 4 from 3. 5 rebounds. He had 12 points, 1 block, and 1 steal. Then against the Magic, he wasn't that great. I think 1 for 3, 0 for 2, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 points. And I think in that Magic game, that one bucket was that nice alley-oop IQ set him up with. I think that was a beautiful pass. He threw me off. He shocked me because I'm like, wow, everybody's looking at IQ when he throws this alley-oop. That's going to be, like, if it was 2K, they would have picked that right out the air. But no, this is real life, bro. You got to be prepared. And I think it was Vucevic was just sitting in the paint. Just he must have had his popcorn out, thought he was watching a movie. Well, he's going to be in a movie right now. He's going to be in a trailer because that alley-oop was fire. That joke was dope. I was like, yo, we haven't seen too much of this.
See, and that's the thing. That's what Peyton doesn't do. Peyton doesn't get the team involved. Because why is it that when Obi's on the court with Peyton, Obi's just not doing much? He has to create his own shot for himself. Oh, he has to stand at 3 and shoot a 3. Whereas when he's playing with Quickly, he's able to stand in the paint. He knows, all right, Quickly's on the court. He's going to pass it to me if I'm in this position. Oh, Quickly's going this way. Let me adjust. Like he knows if he moves around the right way, Quickly will find him, as opposed to a point guard like Peyton who isn't getting his team involved, which slows everything up.
Yeah, Samson is saying we need to move faster, change the lineup. I agree. We definitely need to be faster and play some of these young guys more. IQ, Obi. Like coming into the season, yeah, I wasn't big on Randall, but that was because I didn't know Randall was gonna come here and play like an all-star to start the season. So now that Randall is playing like an all-star, we gotta switch it up now. So Obi isn't going to be focused or we're not going to be playing through Obi in the ways that I thought we would. So now, I would have liked us to play more up-tempo with Obi and them, But with Randall as our star player, he likes the pace a lot, like a little slower. He doesn't want to run up and down the court all day, and he has his buddy in Peyton. So I don't know if we're gonna change that tempo, that style of play. Even though I think it would benefit the team, it's just Tibbs is stuck in his ways, and Randall and Peyton are stuck in theirs.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things Samson pointed out is that in the Sacramento game, RJ was playing ball handler for about a 2-minute stretch, and the offense was moving well. The offense was flowing, and then Peyton gets the ball back, and it goes downhill.
Mm-hmm.
He only looks for Julius. So, God forbid, if Julius is having a bad game, that's an automatic loss if Peyton and Julius are playing 30 minutes because they're the only two getting touches, making terrible shots, like taking terrible shots, not making them. And it's like, I don't understand at this point, why doesn't Tibbs understand that? Like, why does he not watch film? Does he not see how stagnant the offense gets when Peyton is running it?
I think he's fine with that as long as in the opposite end, he's still getting the defensive intensity that he needs, and he expects that at some point the offense is gonna find its way. So that's what I think he believes when he's sitting there, watching film, and he has made some adjustments. Like in the beginning of the season, he was running Elfrid Payton through pick and rolls, like more so like at the elbow, close to the free throw line, and that was giving Payton some success because that Payton was able to drop in a couple floaters right there at the free throw line and get himself started. I think that was the game. Payton went for like 22, 23 points. So Tibbs has made some adjustments here and there, but I mean, he doesn't make them in game, I don't think, or he doesn't make too many in game adjustments because time and time again we see us coming out the second half flat, and that's what happened in the Sacramento game.
Yeah, the only in game adjustments he makes is if one of the rookies messes up and he just takes them out. I'm like, do that with Peyton. He missed 3 shots back to back to back off one possession that we was getting offensive rebounds on. Take him out. He's cold. Like,
take him out.
I hate it.
To the gulag.
Exactly. Samson said, as much as Tibbs here is to blame for playing Peyton, I'm gonna put fault on assistant coaches for not getting in Tibbs ear and telling him the adjustments that are needed. Facts. It's the whole coaching staff that needs to understand. Listen, we're in a good position to actually win these games, but here's the adjustments we need to make. Like, there's no reason Peyton could constantly, well, not during Orlando or Golden State, but during most of our losses and even some of our wins, Peyton has a negative plus minus. Why so much minutes? Even in wins, he has a negative plus minus. That's not deep.
Well, if you look at last game, I think the bench, even though when you were watching the game, it didn't look like the bench was playing that well, but they still ended up with a positive plus and minus, and the starters all had like -10, -15 plus minuses. But we're speaking about Obi, and one thing I think Obi needs to work on definitely is putting people in the post. Cause it was funny because they started talking about his calves and stuff and his lower body. I'm like, all right, we don't need all that. You don't need to be telling us he got a little lower body. I'm good on that information. I just see he lacks the strength to post up. I don't need the anatomy or physiology. Just let me know he lacks the strength to post up. And that's something we've seen time and time again. He's getting these mismatches and he's not throwing these guards and smaller forwards into the post. And that's a little bit troubling. Especially when we're watching a game where a player that a lot of people said we should have drafted, which would be Haliburton, is out there looking like he got the goods, man. Haliburton was out there looking good. And Obi was looking, all right. But going into the draft, a lot of pundits or critics were saying that Obi was the most NBA ready in the draft. And then I'm looking at this because I'm not that heavily involved in the college basketball, so I kind of relied on their opinions and the film I saw. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, NBA ready? Haliburton looks more NBA ready than Toby. Why I call him Toby? Obi looks, and Haliburton was out there wilding. He had like 4 points? Not 4 points, 4 blocks, 12 points. What was it? Like 4 or 5 assists. He had a lot of turnovers too. I think he had like 3 turnovers, but he was out there looking good.
No, he was. I mean, but that's every year. Every year we see someone we should have drafted that we didn't. It happens. I mean, I can't be mad at what we didn't do.
Yeah, I'm not mad about us drafting Obi. I'm just saying, like, because I do realistic rebuilds. What happened?
No, he just said Obi was 22, dominating 18-year-olds. So no wonder, no wonder he was killing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a fact. That's a fact. He was out there. He was old as hell out there killing.
yeah, he was
But you
playing.
would think he'd come in and be a little bit better. The thing I just see where Haliburton is, I do realistic rebuilds here on the channel, and a couple of them, I had Haliburton on the team because I liked what I saw from Haliburton, being able to he has a quirky shooting form, but he was able to drop him. He hit a clutch one on our head, and I think, what was it, the fourth quarter? It's a weird shooting form, but he gets it to go in. And I like what he can do as a passer, and I like that he's good defensively. So the fact that I know we brought in Tibbs, and the fact that Haliburton, I was on the Knicks at Night podcast, and you know, the host Freezy, he was asking what's Tibbs's prototypical point guard, and if you were to make a prototypical point guard, I think Haliburton kind of fits into that mold. Being, I think he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's got decent size. He's got great court vision, ability to stretch the court, and he's a good defender. So, you know, Haliburton was a player I had in a lot of my rebuilds. So to see him, or to see us go into Sacramento, and for him to have a pretty good game against us, it kind of makes me wonder, you know, did we make the right move bringing in Obi?
Well, let me see. Who was it that said it? Samson, because this is my thought when you was talking, and Samson said it. He was like, if we would have drafted Haliburton, we wouldn't have gotten IQ.
Yeah, I guess, but would you say? But who would we end up picking at 23 or 25? Would we be able to find a wing or another guard that could have fit the team? Because I don't see why you couldn't have Haliburton and IQ if you like the both of them.
No, just they probably, like, if we would have already drafted a point guard, I don't think they would have gone with another guard, especially after all the guards we already have.
Yeah, but we don't necessarily have quality guards out for, like, when it comes to the young guards.
I mean, in our minds we don't, but to them, clearly, to them, Peyton is a quality starting point guard. So I'm telling you, like, we would have, and you know, also Austin Rivers, who they signed, like. So no, I think.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They probably would have went with a 4 because we would have had to replace Obi on the depth chart. Yep. I mean, we did draft the center. We just ended up trading him. Yeah, he had a funky name.
Yeah,
but honestly, there were other players late in the second round that we could have picked up that could have been shooters. I think Bane was still available. Who else was available later on that we could have picked up to fill out other positions on the team?
I have no idea. I mean, like you, I don't pay that much attention to college basketball until it gets closer to draft time.
Yeah, and the draft is over.
Exactly.
But I mean, yeah, he's right. We probably wouldn't have went with IQ, but I still think the Knicks, based on what they did in this draft, they would have found a quality pick at 23, 25, whenever we decided to draft. Because then you can also say, do we trade? Do we make moves? So yeah, I mean, in hindsight, you know, we don't know what they would have done, but I still think I liked Haliburton.
Not yet, but like I said, like I'm actually
a
fan of Quickly. I feel like he has a pretty decent ceiling, so I'm good with that. I'm good.
So no reservations about picking Obi over Haliburton, even though Haliburton just looked great.
No, only because I mean,
nothing but Knicks agrees with you, Inf. He said the same thing. It's probably true. You draft Haliburton, you don't get IQ.
Exactly.
Shout out to Nothing But Knicks for pulling up to the podcast. Appreciate the support.
And I mean, I feel like the only thing with Obi is that he's just not getting burned. Like, I feel like we haven't seen enough of him to know what he's genuinely capable of. Now, he needs to have a game where he plays like 25 minutes at least, where he's getting consistent touches. Like, he needs to be playing those 25 minutes with quickly with a potential Lonzo Ball, like someone who's actually going to look for Obi. And then let me see. All right, Obi got 10 shots this game. He only made 1. All right, you know what? Maybe he ain't it. Or he gets 10 shots in good positions. He makes 8 of them. He's starting to kill. His offense is full, you know? So I feel like until I see Obi get genuine, consistent minutes where I can actually gauge how he genuinely plays, I'm okay with the pick for now. I mean, all these other players, they're in systems that are designed for them because those teams know what they're doing. Right now, we got Tibbs, who is wanting to win games, and I mean he's doing it. I'm not mad at Tibbs because chances are if we still had David Fizdale or whatever, our players would probably be developing, but we wouldn't be winning any games. So
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the way they use Obi out there. You see Obi kind of, floating out there trying to be catch and shoot and things. I like when Obi attacks the basket, whether that be pick and roll or just get him cut into the basket.
Yeah,
because that's where you really see that explosion and that athleticism.
Yep. See, just imagine if we had Steve Nash and Amari coaching quickly and freaking Obi, like that'd be lit. Not as our head coaches, but as a part of the coaching staff.
Yeah. Also, Steve Nash is RJ's godfather too, right?
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. They made a big deal about that during the Nets game. Yeah.
Did we beat? No, we lost to the Nets, right?
No, we lost.
Trash.
With half a team too. That was crazy. We lose to them, and then after that we rip off a run of wins. I was like, that's kind of weird. We lose to a team that doesn't have anybody but KD, and I guess that just shows you the kind of player KD is. Yeah, right.
Word, because they come back and they're looking bad. Like they're looking real bad.
I mean, but I don't think that got much to do with KD, to be honest with you. There's other external forces at work there.
It's also KD just because it's not like he's having bad games. He's having good games. He's clearly just
but remember after they beat us, I think they won the next two or the next one with Harden, and then they didn't start losing again until the external force came in and kind of threw off their synergy.
I don't think they won with Harden yet.
Nah, they beat us. Then they were like 2-0 with Harden and KD, and then when the external force came back, they went 0-2.
You won this external force. Yo, and the fact that they 0-2 to the same team, because normally, you lose to the Cavs, you know what? Let's watch some film, and we're gonna come in, we're gonna kill them. Oh, KD ain't playing, so you know what? It's fine. Like this is about Kyrie and Harden lost again. Like how your main two players with KD sitting out, clearly Kyrie and Harden is the main two players. Your main two players get killed by their starting point guard. Like what? 2 games in a row?
Yeah. Sexton out there. He's out there wilding.
He's
out there wilding.
But then now people are trying to say, "Oh, I would take Colin Sexton over Trae Young," and stuff. I'm like, "Yo,
you saw that in the group, bro? The Facebook group is bugging. Like, they are so caught up in the moment. Like anything happens.
A good game without Ben saying, "Oh, you know what? I would take them over this person." Like, no, you wouldn't. If I asked you that last week, who would you have, Trae Young or Colin? You would have said Trae. Every single person there would have said Trae. But now
just to clue the chat in, because they're not in the Facebook group with us. So we're in a Facebook group, like the same group that Naj was in when he pulled up, and they were having a debate. All of a sudden, now that Colin Sexton beat the brakes off the Nets, that they would rather have Colin Sexton over Trae Young. Who were the other 2 players?
I don't remember. But
once they said Trae Young, I was like, yeah, you guys are out of control. I'm like, Colin Sexton is a fine young point guard, and he's a good defender, and he's had a good start to the season or whatnot, but I'm not picking him over Trae Young. They were out there wilding.
Yeah, like they never let people have a good game without them all of a sudden saying, "Oh, they're better than this person or that person."
Also, Andrew's giving us an update to the Brooklyn-Miami game. Brooklyn's up 66. Miami has 56 at halftime.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Sampson said we were going to trade for Sexton and then sign Christian Wood. I like Christian Wood. I think in that realistic rebuild, what I did is I brought in Haliburton and I also signed Christian Wood. Of course, in this one, I think I traded Julius Randle, but I don't remember who I traded him for. I traded Julius Randle in every single realistic rebuild, so I don't think that says much.
Christian Wood, he's actually been doing decent. Like he's having a good season.
I like him. I like him. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on 2K and I'm gonna put all my realistic rebuilds in there and see how they fare. I think they do all right, bro. I had some decent teams. I'm telling you, bro. I had some decent teams. I had shooters. I had passers. I had people that play defense, rebound.
Kevin Taylor keeps mentioning a player, John Petty from Junior Alabama, a potential shooting guard. Let me see. Saying he looks like another John Starks. I mean,
John Stark started a whole debate at the Knicks at Night podcast. Freezy ain't want to debate. That was funny. Yeah, Andrew's doubling up with what we said. Sexton lit up Kyrie.
yeah,
There's some young guards. I want to have a guard on our team that gives me that level of excitement that Sexton is giving Cavs fans. And I think we have that in IQ. It's just Tibbs not giving him enough time.
yeah. I mean, but we spoke about this like before preseason even started with Tibbs. It's like we have these decent draft picks that we know we're not going to get to see. That's just the coach that Tibbs is. He's not going to play them.
You know what's funny?
What?
Because my tech skills ain't up there. I think we actually we're streaming twice on YouTube.
How?
I don't know, but you know what? Hey, I'll figure it out later.
Let me see. You know, we got to take it one game at a time, but I'm excited to see the Knicks without Peyton.
Samson, that's facts.
Season, or if we manage.
Oh man, Chuck pulled up to the chat.
Remember, with Peyton, technically he's on a no trade clause, so we can't trade him without him approving the trade.
Yo, what up, Chuck? Thanks for pulling up to the podcast. Appreciate the support. Yeah, Samson confirmed. You are, by the way, you have 2 streams. You know what? With the way my luck's set up, I cancel one and I cancel all. So I'm going to just let it rock out. Hey.
How the hell
one
you
big happy family? I don't know. I have no clue.
Like what if they commented on the other one and we ain't paying no mind?
They are commenting on the other one. One has, they are. Like nothing but Knicks commented on the other one, and then we have another one over here.
Oh, damn.
See, it's always exciting here at the Knicks State of Mind podcast. You never know what's going to happen. Technical difficulties, and we still power through. You feel me?
Technical difficulties.
Yo, dang.
King Chuck. So everybody knows this Chuck?
Yeah, Chuck. He's on the Knicks at Night podcast a lot. He's he hates on a lot. He hates on a lot of the younger players on the team. He picks and chooses who he wants to defend. Some days he'll defend DSJ. The next day he'll defend. Well, does he really defend Frank? I'm not sure, but
I mean, if he wants to, hate on Knox, then I'm here. Like, I'm here for it. I hate Knox. He's nice, but I hate him. Like,
bro, I think they're having a debate tonight at like 11:45. So if you up, pull up.
I'm not gonna be up. You know me.
I know.
I'm not gonna be up.
Well, one day we'll have you go up against Kev over there. Kev loves.
He's a Knox fan.
Kevin Knox, yeah, they call him a Knox over there.
Damn, that's crazy. I don't know what he's gonna have to say about these 2.3 point a game.
Bro, you will be surprised. He finds a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, and he finds an excuse.
That's crazy because he's dirt. He's talented. He's dirt.
Yeah, but Kev's a good dude. I'll tell him you said what's up next time I go over there to bash Knox.
Got to.
Yeah.
Chuck hates Frank. I mean, Frank. I feel like I haven't seen Frank do nothing in forever. So
Frank hasn't played in forever. What is going on with him?
I don't know.
Still,
he's even on the Knicks. I feel like that was just that would draft was a wasted draft. And the only reason why I'm not mad that we drafted Frank is because if we didn't draft Frank, we was going to draft DSJ. And we have them both, and they're both dirt. So, we were going to throw that draft away regardless. So, I'm not mad that we have Frank. We were going to draft wrong. So,
that is crazy when you look at it. And honestly, we should have picked Mitchell in that draft, right?
Yeah. Donovan Mitchell was there.
Actually, the consensus was we weren't going to pick DSJ because he didn't want to give us their medical records. So it ended up being between Frank and Mitchell.
No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Yo, did you see how how Shaq violated Mitchell in that interview?
Oh yeah, it's disrespectful. That's not what he did. Cool. The way he went about it, he basically said, "Yo, so I think you dirt. What you got to say about it?"
Chad, let us know down in the comments. Did you see that interview between Shaq and Donovan Mitchell, and how did you feel? Because I felt like it was out of line. Like, I haven't really interviewed anybody of stature here on the channel or anything like that, but I still think you could have asked that same question and you could have phrased it in a way that is a lot more respectful to whoever you were talking to. The way he said it, if it was way too confrontational to
Yeah,
me,
he could
way
have.
too confrontational.
He could have just been like, you know what? I feel like you're a really talented player, but I'm not sure if you can take it to the next level. Or like, do you feel that you'll be able to take it to the next level to get your team to win it? Like, he could have asked a question about.
Exactly. Instead of giving him a statement, I don't think you're this. What do you
What
have
do
to
you
say
think about
that?
my thoughts? Like,
Yeah, like first of all, I'd have been like, Shaq, I understand you a champion and all that, but you are retired, so your opinion is from a era of basketball which really is not as relevant to this day and age.
yeah,
You being an inside presence and a dominant force is a great achievement. But honestly, I'm here with my team. We're on a great winning streak, and I really don't want to hear that level of negativity.
exactly.
And you are going to be one of them people I'm here to prove wrong. That's how I would have, because the way Shaq came at him was kind of crazy. And
Yeah,
it's not looking good for some of these older. Like, I'm cool with some of these older players kind of asking hard questions because you get some of the greatest answers when you ask these questions where you kind of push the issue.
yeah,
But the
but
way
now
Shaq did that was
it's
crazy.
yeah, because I mean, Shaq, he played in a time where you would win a game by scoring 60 points as a team. You would win 60 to 58. That's not the game we play. You think Shaq will be running up and down the court as much as they do now, scoring 140 points a game? I don't think so. I just don't. I feel like the pace is way too fast now for players of his style to keep up, which is probably why Giannis, who's compared to Shaq at all times, isn't faring too well. Like, he's scoring a lot, he's MVP, but he ain't winning nothing, and he's not gonna win nothing.
Yeah, it's funny how these younger players and these older players are starting to beef on social media. It's crazy. It's like when older people get social media and they just gotta, I guess, I don't know, attack some of these younger players. I really don't
Yeah,
get the need for it. Like, yeah,
they just mad that they're not in the league anymore. Probably like, damn, I got
yeah,
nothing
like.
to do, son. I'm bored. Let me go volley. Like, that's
It's crazy. I understand when players like Chuck do it because Chuck was from an era where a lot of their money was kind of restricted. They weren't able to move. They didn't have the same level of mobility. They didn't have the same contract structures, and they wasn't getting paid paid as much. So if Chuck won't be salty, I guess I can understand why he's salty. But Shaq out here balling. So why is Shaq taking shots at these players? And I can't think it's just for ratings. We love the inside NBA. So you don't have to do that kind of stuff.
Chuck usually isn't that disrespectful. It's usually Shaq. Like, anything.
Chuck ain't. You ever heard Chuck talk about fat women from San Antonio? What you mean Chuck ain't disrespectful?
I'm talking about to the players, like to the. He's like,
Chuck
he
is
doesn't
out here beefing with these players. I don't know what you talk about. It might be on site. Some of them see Chuck.
but he's not disrespectful the way Shaq is. Like Shaq's the one who said that thing about Gobert and saying like, oh, you could get 200 million just for scoring 11 points a game. Like, that's disrespectful. but Chuck, he'll say things like, why is Joel Embiid constantly taking threes? You're one of the greatest big men in the league. Post these guys up, and like, he'll just say, listen, you're better than this. So whereas Shaq, he's just like, listen, this guy is better. He's making 200 mil.
Shaq than the fool.
Exactly.
Who was he bullying again? His parents had to respond or something? Was it McGee? He was bullying somebody, and the organization had to step in. I think it was JaVale McGee. That's wild. You getting cyberbullied.
He's constantly on Shaq and the fool. He's Shaq and the fool. He's Shaq and the fool.
Yo. Charles said Malik Beasley is having a hell of a year for dating loss of Pippen. That's what he just said. Yeah, Samson said McGee and the moms got involved. That's wild. Like if you're an NBA player and your mom got to talk to an analyst, like, leave my son alone.
No, yeah, that's crazy. He's a grown ass man. I mean, Malik Beasley is having a good season.
Yeah, man. You get you a cougar, she teach you how to. You know what's crazy? I was watching Vlad TV and what's his name that played for the Pistons? Sally or whatever his name. He was on there. He was talking about, Larsa Pippen gonna get Malik right. He gonna tell him how to live his life as an NBA player and how to get things on track. So that's why Sally was like, yeah, you need to get you an older woman when you're a young NBA player. It's gonna teach you the do's and the don'ts. I was like, okay, so you say, you've been living it. I don't know.
She probably got him watching Scottie Pippen's old tapes. Like, listen, man, I'm trying to help you in all assets. Yo, son. Oh, man.
Oh, man, the NBA has been an interesting year so far. I'm kind of concerned about the team playing through the Rona because they're suspending games left and right. Where we gonna have time to make them up?
I was wondering that because I feel like there's certain teams that just hasn't played in a while, like the
Wizards, bro. I got Rui and I got Avdija on my fantasy league, and I need them to play.
Are you tight?
OD tight, bro. And Rui killing. Danny ain't been doing all that, but Rui is out here killing.
Well, yeah, so also missed a few.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, that's some nonsense. Not let these dudes play, but at least give some reprieve to the fantasy owners out here.
Yeah, I feel like once we get back to playoffs, it's going to be another bubble situation.
The reason I think financially they can't do a bubble because I think it costs $150 million to set up that bubble over in Disney, and that was including how many teams did they bring over there? 12, 14?
No, they brought a lot, but that was because of the play-in tourney and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This time, if they strictly do the 8 and 8.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. They brought in 22 teams. My math is off. I think they brought in like 22 teams, and the rest had to stay at home. So to do that with 30 teams is going to be more expensive. And you got to remember, in the playoffs, these players aren't getting really game checks. It's more like the playoff pot. So you're going to have that $150 million expense of the bubble, and then you're going to have to start playing these players they game checks as well. And I don't think it's going to be financially feasible for the NBA. So a bubble scenario could work when it comes to the playoffs again, but I don't know what we're going to do if these players continue to have to sit out this many games.
I said I think when the playoff time comes, they're going to have to go back to the bubble.
But we got a long time between then and now.
I mean, well, yeah, but they'll probably just, shorten the season even more or something if they can't. You know what's crazy, though? The fact that the Knicks haven't missed a game with COVID yet. New York.
Fingers crossed, bro.
Great. Fingers crossed, yeah.
Yeah. But I think we kind of taped. Well, it's kind of getting crazy because my workouts is getting wild now. They got me out there. It's bubbling back up. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think us as fans, we should kind of give an applaud to our players because it shows that they're doing what they have to do outside of the games to not contract, whatever's going around. So I give them a round of applause. They're not getting into these situations. Say it again.
And I think it's partially to do because they know that they're doing good. Like they know, like, yo, this is a good season for us. Like, let's not mess this up.
Exactly, bro.
And too, we got the playoffs right there. Come on,
And I think you touched on it. That what you said right there is just proof that the Knicks are actually finally building a winning culture. Because you have to be inside of a winning culture or inside of a organization that has big aspirations in order to commit and to buy into the team and to make these kind of sacrifices. Because let's be honest, there's a bunch of sacrifices that you have to make in order to ensure that you aren't out there getting caught up in this, scenario. So to see them it appears like, I don't know what they're doing in their real life, but it appears like they're doing what they have to do to be safe. And for them doing that, we're getting to see some good, great Knicks basketball.
Yeah.
So big up to them for that.
I
low-key have like I don't think that worked. I got some sounds on this thing, but I don't know how to use them. I got to figure that out. I got like a clapping thing, but I really don't know how to use it. Can you hear it if I do it?
Yeah.
Oh, what it sound like? Is it clapping?
No, it was like.
I don't think that's me. You hear that?
That's you.
You hear that?
No, I hear that.
All right, so that's not me. Quit lying.
I heard that noise.
But yeah, what do you think about the Knicks actually building a winning culture?
I
Or
think
do you
it's
think we're
about
taking the
damn
steps?
time. I think it's about damn time. Finally, like we are seeing the fruits of our labor. We are seeing hope, hope. Um, because even if we miss the playoffs this season, I feel confident enough to say that next season we're guaranteed to make the playoffs. Just because we're going to be a year older, a year better. Our players are going to be used to the NBA, mainly like quickly.
Is
Uh,
that a hot take, Nick? Is that a hot take, If?
you heard it here first, folks. No, yeah, I feel like we're shooing next season for the playoffs. Like our core will be at the point where, all right, like we know what we're doing. We're playing together. We've played together for like 3-4 years at this point. Like we're good. So
Yeah, I would like to see us make the playoffs, and that would be the next step in our development and getting better as a team. It's just a lot of things have to be done between now and then, and there's a lot of moving pieces. We don't know if Julius Randle's going to still be with the team. We don't know if Burks is going to be resigned. Alfred Payton, for a fact, I'm pretty sure he will not be here any longer. And we got to see what we do with those first round picks. So I'm not going to say it's outside the realm of possibility, but I'm going to still need to see more from this regime and this coaching staff to just to think that I'm going to go into next season and expect the team to be a playoff team. I want them to have those kind of goals and aspirations to start the season. I just don't know if we'll be able to get there because I'm not sure what we're going to do next offseason. Because even this offseason, the Knicks kind of went a route that I really wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting Julius Randle to be as big of a focal piece. So that kind of threw me off. So we have to see what direction this team is going to go.
Honestly, I think if Randle continues to play like this, I think he's going to resign with the Knicks. He's not going to.
Oh, dang. I don't know if I would like that.
I mean, I don't know either, but we already have our core on contract for next season, which that's what matters. So if and one like this season, if it's proved one thing, it's proved that we're clearly growing, like we're clearly getting better. So free agents are actually going to finally want to play for the Knicks because they see the difference. They see that we're clearly a contender now. And I mean, with Julius coming back, listen, like I just feel like he is going to resign, and I feel like the Knicks are going to resign him because look at the season. And if he can repeat what he's doing this season, next season as well, then I'm not mad at it. I just do hope we get a solid free agent, even if it's in a trade where we have to give up a first round. I mean, one of the first round picks to get a legitimate player, not like a Lonzo Ball, but like a legitimate difference maker.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you on that. But just in terms of culture building, Robert Parr is saying it takes time to watch a culture grow the way the organization wants things to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The team, I like what's going on with the team. I like the way that the team looks. We're no longer getting blown out in these second halves. Yeah, there's games where we lose. But I mean, the team's working well together, and if they continue to blossom, continue to grow, I think next season is going to be it's going to be a big step in this rebuild, in this process, because next season I think is the actual season where we can start putting some expectations. Like I said, I'm not ready to go there just yet, but like you said, it's looking like it's going to be that way, and it just depends on what we do in the offseason.
I mean, like I already gave you the hot take. I'm saying Knicks playoffs next
What you
season.
call it? Super Argo just said something funny. DSJ, Frank, and Peyton can hit JFK hard. We need Lonzo or the draft to come through for us next season.
Yes. So I'm actually about to head off this, but before I go, what is your prediction for the Knicks next game versus Trailblazers?
I just hope we don't let Carmelo go off. That's one thing I would not want to see at all is Melo go off. I'm not fond of him. I don't like him too much. So that's a game. It's a West Coast swing, and West Coast swings for the Knicks have always been kind of an Achilles heel for us, I think. So I want us to win that game, but I just don't see how we stop Lillard and McCollum. Like, we can stop one of them. Well, McCollum's out, isn't he? Wait, I think McCollum might be injured. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. All right, I like our chances then. Because we can let Lillard go off, but as long as we stop everybody else, we should be fine.
I mean,
we saw that against the Magic. Vucevic went off, but we stopped pretty much everybody else, and we were fine.
Yeah, and look at Golden State. Curry went off. He had
Curry
30.
went off.
We still won that game.
We still won, yeah. So we can let Lillard do him. We just can't allow him to get other players involved. If we allow him to get other players involved, then we're going to have some trouble.
Exactly. And that's how Infinite sees it. No, he's not.
That's going to be your new segment, how Infinite sees it.
All right, but I'm going to catch y'all. It's been real.
Yeah, I'm going to sign off too.
Easy. Catch ya.
Because the fight's about to come on. Hey, guys in the chat, you guys watching the fight tonight? I know Freezy's having a debate, but I'm going to have the chat. I'm going to have the fight in the background because I can't miss that. I think McGregor going to win. You going to watch the fight, Inf, or no?
No, I don't even know where to see it at.
All right, bro. I'm gonna see if I could. If I pay for it, I'm gonna get you have my login. So we'll see if you can too.
All right, cool. All right.
So once again, this is Quis, host of Sports Vibes TV, joined by Inf. Yeah. Hopefully next time we won't have as many technical difficulties and we'll be able to start on time. So thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button and also make sure you subscribe. We'll be going live every Saturday and Sunday from 8 when there's no Knicks games. All right. So once again, I'm Quis. That's Inf. This is the Knicks State of Mind podcast, and I'm out.
Catch ya.